It's the Kronnoisseur with Chronic and Dabs.
Showtime!
Bringing you up-to-date information on the medical cannabis. The Kronnoisseur with Chronic and Dabs.
Showtime!
Bringing you up-to-date information on the medical cannabis industry. Cutting-edge products and reviews of the latest strands from local growers and dispensaries. All in one place at the
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Chronic
and Dabs
from the Kronnoisseur, finally back streaming live once again to celebrate a landmark in Nevada history. As of Saturday morning, we have 4 recreational shops in Reno that are selling recreational cannabis. So this is our official first episode of 2017 and our first official recreational episode. So want to say hi to everybody and thank you all for coming back. We'd like to introduce Mike the Mick. He's down there on the end. He's actually been enjoying a lot of the recreational side of things since the beginning of the year and has a couple of his products that he has brought over for us to sample, being that recreational weed you can now trade now. You can't necessarily sell it to people, but you can definitely trade it legally. You can buy it, though, legally at 4 shops here in town now. Bloom over on Virginia Street. Mint, that's over on 2nd and Sierra, or 2nd and Lake Street. That's right. And then you've got Sierra Wellness that's on 2nd Street down there behind Renown. And then you've got the dispensary that's over on Plum Lane, just to the west side of Virginia Street. So, long lines all weekend. I heard that they were up over 2 hours long over at Sierra Wellness, at least, when I drove by at about 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. There was still a line wrapped around 2 buildings, so I was like, you know, I've got some medicine. I think I'll wait to partake in the recreational sales. But how about you guys? What's your weekend experience been like?
Well, I worked a lot this weekend, and
that's right. Dabs is working
at
a
I work at Reese
medicinal
Dispensary.
shop.
Yes,
so
and it's a good thing because we are exclusively medical until mid-July or early August. So take advantage of that. There's no lines. Sparks
is kind of dragging their feet on how they're going to license the current medicinal shops to be able to sell recreationally. So we're still waiting to figure that out. I hear there's a court date on the 9th?
The 10th.
Or the 10th. Okay, the 10th. So there you go. Sparks, I apologize, but you got to wait till the 10th.
Yep, we'll find out any time after the 10th. So most likely the 11th or the 12th, you'll get to know when exactly Sparks will go recreational.
And Mike, since you're kind of out in the boonies and away from any of those recreational shops, you've been enjoying the homegrown since January. So you've just been laughing at everybody in line all weekend.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, I have so much, and I'm not even allowed to do anything with it. Giving you guys gifts, like. Well,
you're within your legal recreational limits, but you have enough to be able to come share with us, so that we can show you guys some of the stuff that, as a home grower, you can possibly look forward to as well, because growing's what it's all about. And always a big shout out to the grow shop over on 4th Street, because they're the place to be, man. I know there's a lot of places where you can go to get your knowledge and your equipment for home grows, but I highly suggest you go talk to the people over there working with the Green Rooster at the grow shop on 4th Street. So go check them out. And we've also got some other cool news to announce. Dabs?
Chronic.
You excited, bro? This fall is going to be pretty dope.
I am very excited. Can I actually announce it yet, or
do you want to say it?
I kind of do want to say it. So
okay, just blurt it out.
I'm pretty fucking excited about this. Excuse my French, even though it wasn't French, But
he speaks 2 languages, English and bad English.
Yes, and a little bit of Spanglish. But in September, Chronic and myself will be hosting the Bud and Brews Festival.
Yeah.
Which is going to be amazing. And it's going to be hosted as the Kronnoisseur. So.
Yep, the Kronnoisseur will be basically out there hosting the festivities up on the main stage where the bands are going to be playing. There's a ton of bands, and here in a little bit I'll actually read off the band list to you. We've also got, what else do we got? We're still getting some of the dispensaries and craft beer places involved, but we've got a lot of interest at this point. So we're really excited to announce later on in maybe a few weeks or so the lineup of craft beers we're going to have and some of the dispensaries that will be involved. But I got to remind everybody, while we are going to partake tonight, the event will be a non-consumption event when it comes to cannabis. There'll be plenty of great craft beer, and there'll be lots of education, lots of, you know, things to learn about the new recreational industry and the current medical industry. So it's going to be a lot of information to partake, a lot of great stuff to win, some goofy contests and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you will not be able to consume cannabis at this event. Hopefully, now if the state legislature passes law to where events will be able to apply for temporary permits, then hopefully in the future, you never know what that will happen. But right now, the law says you got to be on private property, which is why the Chronically Late studio happens to be on my private property, and we're gonna be checking out some of Mike's goodies here in the Dab Lab in just a moment. We are, as you may have noticed since the last episode of the Kronnoisseur, we have done some remodeling and some rearranging, so we are still getting some of our vintage consoles put back together with Retro Rob so that we can get back to doing game nights and such like that, because we're back, we're filming, man. The Kronnoisseur is back in a big way, and we'll be having some clothing and stuff online at thekronnoisseur.com pretty soon, but right now we're just focusing on, you know, getting back on our feet, getting the tech together and working right, and being able to make sure you guys have all the knowledge you need to swim through the kind of legal maze that's going on right now with the recreational industry. So have any of you guys done some research on what the new recreational laws are pertaining to driving? Have you seen what the new DUI levels are at?
Okay, yeah, 3 this last weekend.
2. Well, okay. So since Saturday, well, technically since Friday, but there wasn't sales going on Friday yet. But over the last weekend and through the 4th of July on Tuesday, there were, I believe, 24 total DUIs in the Reno area, and 3 of them were for cannabis. And right now we don't, you know, obviously they're innocent until proven guilty, so we don't know if it's a confirmed cannabis DUI. But the way that they have the levels set up right now, it's 2 nanograms per milliliter of blood, and 2 nanograms is like 0.000002 of a gram. Yeah. I mean, it's a very, very small amount. From my understanding, that normal consumers, especially medical consumers like myself, I could probably stop consuming for over 2 days and I would still pop on this current level. Whether I am, you know, under the influence at that point, obviously not at all, not feeling the effects, not feeling, you know, any of the pain relief or any of the reasons why I use it as a medication, but definitely not feeling any of what, you know, some of these scare tactic videos with the weed high driving goggles are trying to put aside.
Those are so fucking ridiculous.
I've never in my life ever been so high to where it looked like it did through those goggles, at least what they were showing on the video.
It looks worse than being drunk. Like,
it's literally those drunk driving goggles, except for they dyed them green.
Yeah, they tinted them green. Yeah, that's a little. And that's another thing. I don't know how high I've ever been, but I have never had my vision tinted green without wearing green tinted glasses. So
it's like they're comparing cannabis to absinthe, you know?
Did you see green when you're on absinthe? Because I sure don't.
I have twice.
You see the little green fairy like in those movies?
I didn't see the little green fairy, but I did see green.
You are a little green fairy.
You're a little green fairy.
So, anyway, the point being still, if you're going to consume cannabis, use Uber, use Lyft, and then come out to the event.
Take advantage
There's
of those.
going to be no consumption of, and plus, you know, the cops now, they're super looking for vape pens, they're looking for everything. So we're just trying to make sure that we pull this event off. We're all going to be on the up and up. We want everybody to have a good time, enjoy some amazing craft beer, and hopefully a lot of you realize how close hand in hand the cannabis industry and the craft beer industry are, as the fact that most hops are very, very close to cannabis, plant genus species wise. And I don't know, some of the beers I've been drinking over at Revision there on Rock Boulevard in Sparks, just off Glendale, those they describe their beers as dank, and I can only agree with them. Like, it literally almost has a mildly dank aftertaste on your tongue. Go check out the What Double IPA. Go check out their regular Double IPA. And be careful of their Triple IPA, because you're going to need an Uber to get home if you drink a few of those. It's no joke. All right, now, Mike, before we run over to the Dab Lab, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the strains that you brought out for us and the history. Do you know the crossbreeding for
like
all
the
these
genetics?
strains? The genetics, thank you.
No, they all are available at Leafly.
Okay.
You can get the parent strains. You can get what they're good for, the medical benefits, whether they're going to make you paranoid. It gives you all the information there. I didn't really remember any of it. The only one you're really not going to get there is Cashmere there tonight. That's not even there yet. That's so new.
Cashmere. Do you know the genetics behind that one?
That's just a regular old phenomenal Kush.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's got me
interesting.
Kush plastered right now, so...
That's true. We were partaking in a little bit of the Cashmere a little earlier, and you can check that out here in a minute when we roll another one up. So hopefully you guys are all tuning in on YouTube. We're on Twitch. The Kronnoisseur is TheKronnoisseur. If you haven't found us on our website and you're just happening to stumble upon us. And we're going to be having apparel up on our website here pretty soon. Super stoked to be out in September at the Bud and Brews Fest. And make sure you guys go check them out on their Facebook page and get the tickets early, so that way you don't have to worry about not getting your tickets, because that would absolutely suck.
It's going to be a big event.
First event of its kind in Northern Nevada. We're already tied in with the city. There's already a lot of publications that are asking about it. Like, I believe when the city of Reno was actually doing their recreational announcement and talking about the laws and talking about the DUI laws and such, that they actually asked about the Bud and Brews Festival. So I thought that was pretty freaking awesome. So make sure you go check that out too. And I'm actually going to go on their Facebook page right now so I can get the list of bands, because I don't have it in front of me. But you can go to Bud and Brews Fest in your search bar, and it'll go Bud and Brew Music Festival. You'll find the page. It's going to be Wingfield Park, September 23rd. Wow, it looks like there's 3 different events set up for it, event pages for it, but there's only one full-on event page. All right, let's go down to the band listing. And where are we at? Dabs, tell us about your experience the last week at Reef while I'm searching
Last
stuff.
couple weeks at Reef has been quite the amazing experience, I've gotten to meet a bunch of different people, a bunch of different unique patients that all have a different story to tell, and they all have a different reason why they choose cannabis over, pain medicine from prescribed doctors. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. People come to us for the genuine help, the natural help. And I feel like there's just so much to benefit from this one plant.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing to me. And plus, I'm around like 60 types of weed all day long. So it's just cool just go in there and smell them, I'm a stoner at heart too. That's, you'd like to do that.
Now, Mike, you and I personally, since, we can talk about stuff that's past the statute of limitations, we've been partaking in cannabis for a very long time. With each other even, dude. We've been...
Yeah. I mean, I've been medical since 2002 when I turned 18.
Yeah, I've been using cannabis since way before that. Way before it was medicinally allowed. But what's it like, kind of, now being in a city that's got recreational, now that you can...
It reminds me of the pot boom in early 2000 when people were just paying ridiculous amounts of money for, like, just a name. I mean, East Coast sour diesel in the early 2000s was going for $16,000 a pound. You were paying $1,000 an ounce in New York City. It's the highest price I've ever seen in my life. I'll never see it again, hopefully.
I remember people paying like $350 or $400 an ounce back in the early 2000s for
that was over here.
Super Bomb.
Yeah.
Ran that right here in Reno.
Yeah, out there in New York, they were paying $1,000. They were doing High Times magazines about it.
Yeah. And well, I mean, right now, with the price boom that just went up, I mean, what do you guys got? Ounces? Do you guys have your
Our
recreational
exotics
price
are 30. They're $359.99 plus tax. So like out the door, they're closer to $400 for the exotics, and it just goes down from there.
$400
an ounce.
Yeah.
for an ounce.
That's what you guys get
So
for
that's what I was-
voting
Yeah,
and not reading between the lines.
Well, here's the thing, though, and this is what we've all got to come to grips with, is that as more licenses are released and there's less places that are, or there's less competition for the amount of product that's out there, the prices will come down. It took a little over a year, but now you can get, ounces of fucking bomb for around $200 in Colorado on recreational prices.
I know, but if you want to grow,
and you can get like mid grades all day for $100 an ounce.
if you want to grow your own, though, you're shunned outside of cities. I mean, farthest north we got is a dispensary instead, so you got to go 25 miles north instead. And I mean, Dayton, closest thing you got towards Carson City.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you literally have to go out into the middle of nowhere, and then you're still stuck with only 6 plants. I mean, yeah, you can yield a lot off 6 plants. I mean, do 6 plants right indoor.
And that's things that I think are going to need to be brought up in future legislative sessions. Is the fact that if we're going to be allowed to grow 6 plants, and say we want to grow outdoor as a recreational individual, aren't I going to be able to need to be able to hold on to enough to get me through the whole year, since I'm only going to be trying to grow 1 crop?
Yeah, especially in a greenhouse or outdoor, but technically you can't grow outdoor right now. The law is...
Yeah, greenhouse is indoors, so, but indoor, outdoor, I only want to, if I'm going to make a greenhouse, and if I personally wanted to grow and I had property out of the 25-mile ring, I would want to be able to grow 6 plants as big and badass as I can,
You're
and
gonna
that
have to
way it'll
start
get me through the
early
year.
and screen it.
There's harvesting 6 full plants, depending on how the strain and the dankness. Like when I was growing outdoor in Northern California, we grew some sour diesel plants that were 23 foot around and something like 15, 16 foot off the top of the root ball. And they harvested 5 to 6 pounds each plant.
Yeah, it's still not much if you smoke as much as you do.
Well, I think 5 pounds would get me through a year reasonably. On my medicinal level. If I was staying medicated all the time, 5 pounds.
The amount of concentrates you go through, the amount of edibles.
I'm saying
the amount
I would have to have 5 pounds of flour to be able to make enough concentrates to get me through.
I don't think that much would get you through.
I don't either.
In game,
I'm not talking about like the dream,
I'm not even talking about the dream either. It takes about a half pound to make about anywhere between a quarter and a half ounce of concentrate.
And you guys did that in like what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Easy. Look at your rig right here.
Yeah, it does have a lot of reclaim, doesn't it?
Yeah, that reclaims more than most people go in a month.
You got like 2 grams in there, just reclaim.
Okay, maybe I'd need 10 pounds.
Oh, way more than that.
But that's why I'm trying.
Like 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah, like if you're doing a one-time cycle, you would literally need all of that one-time cycle to yield 5 or 6 pounds per plant, and then that would have to be made into your concentrate, and that would barely get you through. You might end the end of the year with an extra ounce or 2 to party with.
Party hard.
I mean, that's really not that much, but we're talking about a perfect grow here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not building no greenhouse that's going to do this unless you're going to build it extremely long and you're going to screen out your plants.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know me. Plan then attack. But I mean, that's kind of the point where there are definitely some gaps in the difference between being a medicinal patient and being a recreational user right now.
Yeah, you can still grow anywhere if you're medicinal.
Well, you can't. No, there's still a 25-mile ring. The thing is, you can get an exemption for strains that are not held by any of your local dispensaries within that 25-mile ring, and you'd have to go to the state to get it. So you also have two different licenses here in the state of Nevada. You either have a grower's license or you have a regular consumer's license. If you have a grower's license and the ability to grow your own, you can't go walk into a shop and use your license to go buy medicinal cannabis. Whereas with the other one, you can't grow. So it's like...
But we accept other states' licenses to do both?
Out-of-state license with out-of-state ID is good to go, or out-of-state license with passport is good to go.
And you can
the
do
only
both.
thing that sucks, too, is that, like, if you have a California license and a California ID or a passport and you come over here, you're just fine. But if you have a Nevada license, a Nevada ID, and you go to California, California doesn't care.
I think what's
There's
fucked
no
up...
reciprocation on that.
Yeah.
I think what's fucked up is if you have a California rec and any other ID but Nevada's, you're taken at our dispensary. Like, I mean, we take you. Any other ID but Nevada. If you have a Cali rec with a Nevada ID, we won't take you.
Yep.
How does that make sense?
Because then you're basically violating, the California medical license. If you're not a resident of California, you can't have a California license. That's why.
So every other ID is okay.
Mm-hmm. Every other ID is okay.
Bureaucrats.
All right.
Every other ID.
So, again, I want to reiterate, if you guys are just joining us, actually, we should probably see if people are watching. Maybe people are commenting. Who knows? So if you guys happen to be watching right now, I'd like to reiterate that myself and Dabs are going to be hosting the festivities at the inaugural Bud and Brews Music Festival that's going to be going on September 23rd, downtown Wingfield Park. You can find ticket links by going to the page on Facebook, and you can find links to their actual website.
No more downers.
So, pretty stoked about that.
The golden lemon.
Golden lemon.
The golden lemon, huh?
Good for the soul.
Do you have a lemon that's golden for the soul? All right.
I really like how that Blue Dream smells. That's one of my favorite strains ever.
It's everybody's favorite strain for like a decade. Oh, yeah.
That's why it's everyone's favorite strain. It's a consistent strain. Have you ever had a bad Blue
Next
Dream?
time, finish your bowl and love me some greens, you big jerk.
I can say the same for this guy.
I don't want your
but I'm a nice
seconds.
friend.
I don't want your sloppy seconds.
Yes, you do.
Well, that was actually like super sloppy thirds.
Really?
Because I had his sloppy seconds.
Take that.
Yeah.
Supposedly there was 4 people
You
watching
slut.
for a second. Who isn't bloody?
You terp slut.
That is true. All right, let's talk a little bit more while he's loading another bowl. The Bud and Brews Music Festival. We're going to have Patu Banton. If you like reggae music, it's going to be super, super heavy reggae music. We're going to have some of our dudes from 100.1 The X that does the Reggae Shack. So he's going to be out there, and we're going to have Patu Banton and the Now Generation, Tribal Theory, Synergy, Lady Rico, Brewfish, Wasted Noise.
Wait, did you say Tribal Theory?
The Reggae Shack Refugees, of course, Mojo Green, Afrolicious, Smoked Out Soul, DJ Ramon, Ambassador, DJ Stacks of Wax, DJ T. Lee Walker, DJ Mr. Rooney, and the Reggae Shack with Tracy Moore that you may know from 100.1 The X. So that's going to be pretty dope. Well, you don't believe me? I just announced. God, this guy. Is that a fresh bowl?
It is a fresh bowl.
Sure is.
Dream. Gave it to him first. You're
No,
welcome.
hand it over. Hand it over, ye of little faith.
Hold on. Go back
Greedy.
to the bands on there.
No, you figure it out for yourself. So you can also go to budandbrewfestival.com, budandbrewfestival.com. All one word, if you guys want to find ticket links.
Or you can be like me and ask Chronic here for all the information.
Yeah.
So he can look it up. And I don't have to do shit.
When do you ever do shit?
Every day.
You are
Especially after Taco Bell.
You are the dabs for the reason. So he's the reason that they go to Taco Bell.
He's the reason they have a munchie meal at Jack in the Box.
The munchie
Here's
meal?
this one, 'cause
I don't
I know
know,
he'll want-
dude. That brunch burger is pretty
No,
phenomenal.
I know. I know he won't want to hit it unless it's.
Yeah, bro, where's some greens?
You are so spoiled.
Yeah, homie. Thought you knew my name was Chronic.
You guys are all seeing this right now, right? Spoiled little bitch.
I don't want his
Bro,
sloppy seconds.
I don't want to hit any of your weed unless like none of you have
Like, it's the,
hit your
halfway
weed.
green on this side.
I know. That's why you smoked it. He should no. He's being a little bitch because he's not finishing his bowls. Let's all just fucking put that out there, bitch.
I don't have the tolerance that I used to, so.
And he's packing small bowls.
I said I'm not packing small.
And he's packing small bowls because that's only a small bowl on there. I don't have a party bowl. I only have a single bowl.
Okay, let's see you clear this.
Yeah, but for one
Watch.
rip, that's still a good size.
That's what she said.
She did say that. Do we even have any viewers?
We had a few for a second there, I think, but who knows?
Couple people
Who
watching.
knows if they're watching? Are you watching me?
All right, princess.
Hello, Clarice.
Okay, he says that these are small bowls. Let's see if he can clear it. I packed this the same as all of them. I gave him the Gorilla Glue.
Hey, Chris. How was that for you? Did you clear it?
I don't think he cleared
There's
it.
hardly anything left.
Pussy, you didn't clear it.
I know, right?
You're talking shit over here, and he didn't even clear it. Look, you guys all saw that. That was 2 times.
I still fucking finished my bowl, bitch.
We told you to clear that, bitch.
I don't have the.
I'm gonna quote a guy.
You know how much gut I have now since we used to film.
I'm
Ladies and
gonna.
gentlemen, I have put on over 30 pounds since this winter, and I am feeling like a fatty lumpkin.
Oh, you should.
He's feeling like a blumpkin.
Well, here's the problem. You know, I love food. My son had a major cranial surgery last summer, and since then I started
really
stress eating around then. And then even after the stress was over, I just continued eating. Like I was stress eating. I am a fatty. And then I like beer, especially craft beer, especially dark beer. Especially
fat
beer,
fuck
beer. And then, you know, there's my infatuation with, you know, cheese products. And, by the way, that Gorilla Glue always tastes so much different as an extract than it does as a flower.
Oh yes, very much so.
Like, it's one of, I don't know if I'm the only one that has this experience, but it's one of the only buds that I think has less flavor as a flower. You know, normally, like, when you smoke a flower as opposed to smoking concentrates, it has a little bit of heavier effects, a little bit of oxygen deprivation, but you still feel, like, a little bit of a fuller terpene profile, like, it's personal. Even the best extract artists, I've never been able to get that full-on same feel of smoking as I do when I get smoking flower. But at the same token, I don't often smoke flower. I'm almost always smoking concentrates just for the fact that I don't want to inhale the plant matter, and it makes my voice kind of harsh. And doing what I do for my other jobs and stuff, being a DJ and having to be on the mic a lot, it's not a good idea for me.
Pussy.
Very true. Eating some of that helps your voice.
Proven fact.
If you didn't hear it, he said, pussy. Okay, Mike, what else you got?
See, so far we've had the Gorilla
Stuff that
Glue,
you're
the Blue
trying.
Dream. We smoked the
You done? You
cashmere.
tapping out?
We have cheese.
Well, we did smoke.
Pussy. Sorry, had to get that out there.
We smoked a fat ass joint before this filming.
Yes, we did. Well, we were brainstorming There was some large dubification being consumed here.
Not gonna lie, I did hog that thing.
You smoked most of it, but it was pretty
A
potent.
dubification. Which one is this one?
Cheese.
Smile.
Cheese. You look so angry for smoking so much weed.
I'm not angry.
Whereas I just have like the fucking cheese smile like that. The fucking grin.
The front face of a head shop.
Yep.
Yep.
Welcome to our store.
By the way,
No,
I've smoked
I don't
weed here.
smoke before I go to work. It's just too much to fucking do. There's too much counting, too much shit to fuck up.
Well, true.
And it's probably illegal. So.
Well, that's not the point. The point being is that when you've got stuff to do that most of the time we choose not to be under the influence. I'm at a level now to where I'm almost always medicated, and so most of the time most people don't know I'm medicated. I'll tell you that a lot of people recognize when I'm not medicated because they'll see that I move a little slower, I'm a little grumpy, and
A dick.
I'm always a dick. Let's be honest. Come on.
But there's levels of it.
Dickishness.
You're like past chode once you're out of your medicine.
You're an asshole.
You two are ridiculous. Yes, I can be an asshole. But it's not like I'm going to go rob somebody because I don't have weed or I'm not high.
I haven't been without weed in a very long
It's not like
time.
I'm ready to commit a felony in order to go score. I may be grumpy in a very bite your head off kind of way, but I'm not going to... Like, and that's the thing why when people try to say that this is a severe addiction, like, you know, personally, the current Attorney General, he likes to say that, you know, bad people do this substance, and while I used to have a bad temper, I really don't anymore, and it's thanks to this. As a matter of fact, pretty much the only legal problems I've ever really had in the past is been due to my temper, and now it's really easy to let shit go. Or it's easy to just laugh at shit, but I've got to be careful not to laugh in their face, because then they want to punch me.
Depending on how you laugh at their face.
I've got that Nelson laugh down. So it's a little hard not to get punched. You know, there's that.
Tell us how that cheese is.
For being cheese, it didn't taste very cheesy.
It's not a Limburger.
It didn't taste like the Famunda.
Did you say a Limburger?
Mm-hmm. He knows his cheeses. He's a hoity-toity white bastard. Alright.
That's great.
Literally moved closer to a Whole Foods.
He did. He's walking distance to Whole Foods.
Literally a block and a half.
So how do you feel giving your money to Amazon when you go buy your food now?
Fucking phenomenal. Maybe they'll drone that shit down the street to me.
We do live in an amazing day.
Fucking
in
A.
age, dude. We can walk into a store in downtown Reno and go buy cannabis.
Legally.
Like, in the years when we were growing up, and a seed could be a felony that led to 5 to 10 years.
Oh my god, that was when I was like 5 too.
Well, I was fucking 13, 14, 15.
I was about to say, then you grew to like
and
5'9".
Especially when people were like, man, you can get 5 years for a seed. Man, I could buy an eighth that had 20 seeds in it. Back then, you know, there was a lot of brickweed in Reno. Let's be honest.
There still is.
$2.50 a pound.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not seen brickweed in probably 5 or 6 years.
Indiana. 6 years. It's been 6 years.
It was in Indiana. It was in Indiana. We were living in the Midwest. Mike the Mick over here has lived with me a couple times, actually. We're pretty close friends. And when we were in Indiana with another good friend of ours, a couple good friends of ours, some dude came over to hook us up with a little bit of tree, and it was stick and stem.
$20 got us a half ounce.
Dude. I couldn't believe I was desperate enough to consume it, but I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, that much time out there in the Bible Belt, it was rough times. It was rough times, man. Dude, hell, they didn't even serve alcohol on Sundays. It was sacrilegious to a man like me.
You literally had to find a bootlegger that would sell it out of their basement on a Sunday.
Dude, we actually, we drove.
Oh my God.
Ted and I drove for 4.5 hours.
Before I got out there.
In order to find a $60 half gallon of Captain Morgan. Because Sunday was our only day off, and we wanted to drink, and we had run out Saturday night partying into Sunday after we had gotten off work. And we got up and wanted to go to our neighbor's pool, and yeah, dude, we drove almost the entire day. So, you know, if there's one thing I will say, don't move to the Bible Belt. If there's another thing I will say,
the Middle East.
don't take anything to the
man.
Bible Belt, because the laws out there are strict as hell, and I think that's why they actually had
I still follow the news sites out there, dude. I see like 2-3 times a week people getting busted for fucking weed out there.
Yeah. We lived in Evansville, man. The place was crazy. That place was definitely crazy.
Tri-City.
And then you could basically throw a rock from our house across the river and hit Kentucky.
Yeah, right there next to Ellis Park. Yeah. First time I ever went horse race betting. Woo!
Oh, you went on that little...
Ellis Park, yeah, right across the way. It's the first time I ever bet on a horse.
They had that little riverboat. They had that little riverboat gambling casino.
Oh, yeah, the
there
riverboat
too.
casino across the street from Fast Eddie's.
Yeah.
Fucking fast.
Working at Re-Raws, man, the Irish pub there. That was a great time, though.
Yeah, it was.
Good times.
I was working at a call center.
Dabs, did we talk about it yet? That Sparks is got, okay, the 10th is going to be the court date, and does that mean sales could start on the 11th?
Not necessarily. That means that we could apply for the
I was about
license
to
on
say,
the 11th.
then there's going to be a licensing application, then they're going to be able to claim due diligence for...
It's still going to be a process, so I still don't even think that we're going to be able to do recreational sales until August at least. I wouldn't even be surprised if it wouldn't start till January.
Now, have you heard anything about the Carson City case with the alcohol distributors and what's still going on with that? Because the last I had heard, and it's been a couple days since I looked up anything on it, was that the alcohol distributors were still fighting for their rights to be the exclusive.
Oh, definitely.
Transfers, and the state taxation department said that they're still fighting for the ability to be able to license some of the cannabis growers.
Yeah, because they want their piece of the pie.
To be able to transport their own through, like, I wasn't sure if they were saying that some of, because the alcohol companies, the reason why this has become such an issue is because on the federal level, where a lot of these alcohol distributors are licensed, cannabis is still illegal. Cannabis is still illegal. So if you're out on the federal land at Burning Man, it's not legal to consume out there because you are on public land. I just want to point that out there. If you are out driving around, even art cars, golf carts, and I think technically bicycles, and they are under the assumption that you are using cannabis, they can test you out there for DUI while you're in Black Rock City. So a lot of people that I know, a lot of friends, of course, that are headed out to Black Rock City are freaking out, because that means, especially if the state levels at 2 nanograms per milliliter, which is hardly anything, almost anybody, whether you've used within a few days or not, is technically going to be guilty of a DUI at that level. Anybody that's used cannabis within a few days of being at Burning Man, whether they have used it at Burning Man or not, the first couple days, everybody's going to be guilty. It'll take at least like 48 hours to get it out of your system to the levels where they're talking about. From my understanding, and this is from tests that have happened up in like Seattle and at some of the universities up there where they're doing a little bit of testing here and there. And I know we've got 2 students here actually from Nevada that are working to get the way the testing is done changed to make sure that they're actually looking for the cannabis metabolites that are the active ingredient in your blood that's actually, giving you the euphoric feeling, giving you the pain relief, giving you those things instead of a different type of THC. It's THC-DOOH, I want to say, if I'm remembering the terminology correctly, which is actually one that can stay in your system for weeks.
Yeah, up to 30 days.
Yeah, that's the one that like they use for the drug testing on, trying to see if you've ever used cannabis in the past. When everybody would fail the piss test, that's the one they were looking for. And that's because that is a THC metabolite that or non-metabolite is a THC molecule that stays in your system for weeks. But
stores in your fat cells.
Mm-hmm. And especially when you're fat like me, and almost everybody we know, when you smoke, you want to go eat. So what are you doing? You're creating fat cells as you're pretty much still having the THC circulating in your blood, and you're just storing it in the fat until you're ready to burn it again.
Try a salad instead of a cheeseburger.
This is coming from a guy that lost how many pounds now in the last year?
Let's see, is it the 17th yet?
No.
Because it was on the 17th of July 2 years ago that I started losing the weight, and I lost 100 pounds, and I put 15 back on in muscle.
Yeah, this guy's been going walking all the time. I got to give him props. He's always out around Midtown. And you actually quit drinking alcohol, too.
Yeah, last February.
See, that's probably the reason why I can't lose weight, is because I really do, with dinner, I enjoy a good craft beer. But I'm doing it right now. I haven't had a beer now in I don't know how long. It's been
4th
over.
of July?
No, it's been over a few weeks now since the last time I actually had a beer. Yep, no drinking, man.
How to make it through the 4th of July?
How to make it through? Eating a lot of barbecue and spending time in the pool, getting this newly formed fatty tan. Yeah, I finally found out that I have rolls in the back a little bit, and because I got mildly burnt, like it really doesn't hurt, but I got burnt enough to see there's white lines on my back where the folds are. So I have awkward tan lines now. That's how I know I finished losing weight. So I got to get out there and start jogging or doing some kind of cardio or something.
Aerobics in your pool.
Yeah, dude. Well, I think having the pool is going to help me get a lot more exercise already because, just goofing off in there is a lot of burning calories. But anyway, I'm rambling.
But then smoking weed after you get out of the pool and
eating
some munchies ain't helping either.
Having 4 cheeseburgers and a couple hot dogs yesterday. Yeah, I definitely ate my calorie intake plus
for the whole 4. Day.
I like food. I really like food. It's true.
No one's blaming you. Just stop eating as much.
I'll try. I'll really try. All right, Dabs. So, when do you head back to work, man? When
this morning or in the morning?
You gotta get there early, huh? All right, I'm gonna let you get out of here, which means we're gonna pretty much call it a night. But
I think it was a success, though.
I want to thank everybody for joining us again on our first recreational episode. I want to thank Mike, the rec grower. He's brought us some great strains from out in the boonies. And I want to thank again Retro Rob, the game guru. He's back there doing sound in the dark, in the circles of hell, basically. Barely being eaten by the bugs that are kind of flying around over here. Anyways, looking forward to seeing you all at the Bud and Brews Festival, September 23rd. Go to budandbrewfestival.com where you can find ticket links, or you can find them on their Facebook. Again, this is Chronic.
And Dabs.
And
Mike.
And thanks you for joining us again on another episode of the Kronnoisseur. Finally recreational here in Nevada.